in my life was he asked me, would you like to know who I made you to be before the foundations of the world? Would you like to? I said, I don't know, because that sounds, one, kind of melodramatic and kind of, I don't even sure that's you, so, there's that. And I'm not sure, because that sounds to me like maybe my perception may not be completely accurate, and I might need to let go of some of the things I really, really love about myself, which of course that wasn't true. But anyway, and so I eventually, after 2 weeks of considering it, said yes. Some of the questions he asked me, I say to him this: I don't want to, but I'm willing to have you make me able to say yes to the possibility of saying yes. And then magically, somehow a day later, I'm able to say yes. Because this is what he does. He goes, I will bring you into alignment. He didn't say, he said, when you look at these numbers and they're all lined up, he didn't say, I'm making you learn how to bring your life into alignment. He said, I am bringing you into alignment. I will bring you into alignment. But it comes always through these questions, would you like to? And so he will bring our beliefs and our feelings and our thoughts and our words and our actions into alignment with who we really are, what he's actually doing, and he is using the dissonance, the irritation, the difficulty as a little signal to let us know that we're not in alignment, not so that we should fix it, so that we can enter into the conversation of, would you like it fixed? Would you like it? This is the language, so would you put on here, Greg, this is the language of heaven, and do you know what it sounds like? It is passion. A life of passion instead of a life of obligation. Now let's be honest, think about your everyday. Do you wake up in the morning and think to yourself, I'm making breakfast for someone else because it is my life's passion or because it is your obligation? Do you drive people around throughout the day, or do you go to work and earn money because it is your passion or because it is your obligation? Do you cook meals for people because it is your passion or because it is, I know, right? It is your obligation. Are you nice to half the people that you meet because it is your passion or because you have an obligation? How much of your life has become a responsibility and an obligation and has lost or never had, ever to begin with, passion? Yikes! So how many of us are ready to discover, I think over the next coming weeks, how to see every part of our life come into a boundless, uncontainable passion, where all the decisions that we make throughout our life are not made anymore because of a responsibility or an obligation, but because we have passion to do it. Right? Yay! Okay, so because of time, we're going to just touch on joy, and then we'll continue on feelings and emotions next time. Anybody want to make a comment? I mean, right? Is this so good? I'm so excited because it just, right? It's like, oh shoot, no wonder I feel like drained in my day. No wonder at 3 o'clock I'm feeling like I need a pick-me-up. No wonder, right? No wonder, because we are spending so much of our life and we're spending so much of our energy. How many of us spend the energy in our relationships based on obligation rather than passion? Because we are doing, in this relationship, we are trying to perform the way we think we should, no longer how we feel passionate, because we're no longer free to be passionate. Why? Because we're trying to ignore all the thoughts, all the feelings, all the actions that have caused that relationship just to go to, heck in a handbasket, and we're just trying to clip those signals as fast as they happen. Because it never even occurred to us that we could possibly be in alignment in this very relationship, and so we find ourselves caught trying to behave right, rather than discovering that we can be in alignment around extremely difficult people and difficult circumstances. And we can be, what did you just sing over us? We are life, we are love, we are light in the darkness, we are hope. Right? We are that. Okay. The word for joy is chara, C-H-A-R-A. And I spent a lot of time talking to the Lord about joy this week. And I just have a little tiny bit. My understanding so far is that joy is a thing that happens to us and for us. In fact, almost all emotions are things that happen to us. We can participate in the experience of certain emotions, right? We can choose certain thoughts that would lead us to certain emotions, but most emotions really actually happen to us. And the reason why they happen to us is because they are a product of other things. And that product of other things is meant to tell us what's really going on inside. And so joy, I don't know if this is quite making sense, but we'll, like in the next couple of weeks, I think unwrap this in such a way that's really going to help. But if you are lacking joy, the pursuit of joy is almost, it's fruitless. It's frustrating. Okay, thank you. Fruitless. It's frustrating. The pursuit of these things, you can't pursue them in and of themselves because they themselves are the product. And so we look for this emotional peace. In fact, I believe it's why the fruit of the Spirit are all emotions, because God really values emotions. He doesn't ever want us to stuff them. He doesn't ever want us to ignore them. And he even described the very evidence of our life with the Holy Spirit is what? Really great accomplishments? Really great actions? No, emotions. He went, the fruit of your partnership with the Holy Spirit is not accomplishing a whole bunch of stuff or digging a bunch of wells or even being nice to somebody. The fruit of our partnership with the Holy Spirit is, wait for it, emotions. Seriously? I mean, how many of you have been told, like, don't listen to your emotions, they will deceive you. Don't listen to your emotions, they will fool you. How many of you have the flannel graph of the train, right? Faith is first, then feelings. Anybody done that? Come on, tell me no child of the 80s, like, did the flannel graph? Okay, thank you, right? And so did, right? Okay, right? And some of them even said, I don't know about you, but I went to one message where they were like, you should just take the feelings and throw them off the train. And ignore them altogether. Wow. You should. Did you hear that? You should. That's not an invitation to a life of passion. That's an invitation to a life of obligation and responsibility. Yikes. And so the Lord goes, I want to introduce you, if you'd like to the life filled with the Spirit, where the very fruit of the life with me is feelings. Because how many of us are willing to admit that feelings dominate whether we want them to or not? Right? I mean, how many of us, we've built muscles, to perform regardless of feelings? But honestly, the feelings still rule. Because the feelings are indicating and telling us what's really going on. And if we are wise, we will not cut the signal, we will listen to them. And that's why the fruit of life with the Spirit is, you put this up, love, joy, peace, patience. Did you know patience is a feeling? It's not an action, it's a feeling. Right? Because you can act patient, but be impatient. And how many know when you're not really being patient, right? Because you act like it, but it's not really real. Yes, you guys can come in because we're over time. Patience, kindness, goodness, and the one that always really annoyed me, self-control. Anybody with me? Okay, so here, I love this. We'll just take a little quick flip on this, and then we're going to go into our prophetic practice. Self-control, I kept asking the Lord, like, I don't understand self-control. Like, it just sounds like self-responsibility. And he said, no, let me help you understand really, truly what self-control, which is no longer being controlled by anything else. the freedom to no longer be controlled by anything else. Wow, right? That's freedom. So joy is something that happens to us. Joy is the fruit. It is the byproduct of other things in our lives. And it is a part of what we're going to be kind of uncovering in the next couple of weeks as we delve into the 5 pieces of alignment, where all of our being comes into agreement with the goodness of heaven and doors are open to us. I will tell you this, as you guys might look into researching joy or any other love, joy, or peace, or any of the other emotions, as you start to look at them, I have discovered, as I spent a lot of time this week, the same old approach to performance and joy that I grew up in, and all the shoulds. And I just went, how did life with God become a mechanical instruction manual? Covered with the should lens, instead of the active invitation with God. So if you're ready to explore the life of passion and no longer a life of responsibility, I know that sounds crazy, but really, truly, aren't we ready for that? Where joy and love and peace and patience and kindness, where we find ourselves unable to not be these things. That's what the life of alignment is. Oh, thank you. I thought, well, you can't forget. That's like your number one thing.
What else did I forget?
You, gentleness, kindness.
Did I forget something else?
Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness,
Somebody
goodness, gentleness, self-control. No, that's it.
Spirit.
That's all of them. How fun is this, right? So I know it wasn't much on joy. I have a whole lot more on joy, but I was trying to set it up, and then, so we'll come back and do a little bit more. I do wonder if this has any association with charis and the Holy Spirit, but I don't know if you know, Dan, I don't know Greek well enough to know if there's actually a relationship between these two words or not. I haven't had a time to research it. There is. I thought there might be, yes, but I didn't have enough time to make sure. And so, yes, right? So, because the word for grace, which is really actually the word essentially for the presence of the Holy Spirit, is charis. And so I thought certainly these are connected, which would be that this is just a derivative of the very person of the Holy Spirit, is joy in us, right? So good. Okay, yay. So we're gonna let kids come in. If someone would, just let them know. And for our prophetic practice,
I think they're way up front.
they are, they're running. I love that. She's like, let's get some energy out, let's race. It's perfect. We're going to take an opportunity for us to take the paper that you got, that you can write your name on. And I would really love for us to find 1 to 2 sentences that I would like to take home and proclaim over you every day this week.